Good day, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, pat on your back, personal fitness. Hope everyone is having a great week so far as we head into Easter weekend and as we head into April. Monday, I believe, is April 1st. Hard to believe. Again, that 2024 is going as quickly as it is. But hopefully you're enjoying yourself and have some good plans for you, whatever that is for this weekend. Some family time, maybe some relaxing time, maybe some time outside, maybe a little adventure, and whatever works for you. Hopefully you're making the most of this time. You have a day or two off, depending on your work situation. So again, hopefully you can take advantage of that and enjoy yourself a little bit. And maybe recharge, refresh, refocus, recalibrate, check in. And we talk about how our month end, month beginning is a great time to check in with our goals and a great time to build in those check-in times into our routine, because every month there's always a first of the month or an end of the month that we can just designate as our time to check in. And then we have 30-day increments roughly to work around. So lots on the go this coming weekend. But again, hopefully you are able to enjoy yourselves, and hopefully you're able to unwind and recharge and refresh a little bit. And one way we can do that, which is common this time of year, is a little bit of spring cleaning. And that's what we're going to talk about a bit tonight. Now, don't turn off yet. Don't change the channel. Think of spring cleaning as, yes, when we go around and we tidy up our papers and maybe do some filing and we do some good dusting and maybe we organize our cupboards, or we go through our closets, things like that. And those are all very important. But try to think of maybe on the health and wellness side of how you can do some spring cleaning. So maybe that is actually cleaning up your environment and purging some things, getting rid of some things, getting rid of some maybe clothes you don't wear anymore, some books that you've read and don't have use for it anymore, maybe some old videos. Maybe you have a pile of tape cassettes, but no cassette player anymore. Maybe it's time to thin out that cassette collection or a DVD collection if you do a lot of streaming. Again, maybe just your physical environment is maybe a great place for you to start to do that spring cleaning. And then a clear environment, they say, helps create a better workspace and a clearer mind and better results. So maybe that is where you need to focus your spring cleaning or start your spring cleaning, is in that environment. Another way you can look at your spring cleaning is look at your chore list. Most of us have that kind of to-do list of things we need to do, of again, maybe washing the windows or scrubbing the walls, or these big sort of projects that typically we kind of put off because we don't want to do them, and they take up a lot of time when we maybe could be working on other things. So maybe now is a good time where it's spring, seasons are changing, you're on a routine with your goals, that because we started back in October, so we've got a good routine, a good system in place. Maybe now is a good time to factor in some of those big kind of daunting tasks that you have in your to-do list that you've been putting off. And when I used to teach yoga fairly regularly, I would incorporate this into our corpse pose at the end. I would challenge my participants that as they were kind of relaxing and as they were unwinding from the class, to think of one of those things on their list that just is always there and they always put off. But then use some visualization to think how you would feel having one less thing on your to-do list, one less big task to worry about, the relief you might feel, the sense of accomplishment you might feel, the admiration or happiness that maybe your family or friends would have for you because you finally did that thing they've been wanting you to do for such a long time. So again, it's how we frame things and how we kind of look and perceive them. It's easy for us, all of us, to look at things and say, I have to clean this, I have to get my taxes ready and do that filing and change my tires over, and I gotta wash windows and whatever. Or we can try to think of maybe how we would feel having that task accomplished. We can use visualization, as we've talked about more in a vision board. We talk about visualizing our outcomes as well here. seeing and feeling and smelling and hearing whatever is associated with that goal. Try to experience and picture that being accomplished. And within my yoga, I had lots of people who would actually go home and do some of those tasks and come back the next week and check in and say how great they felt. Just that one less thing on their to-do list that maybe had been there for weeks or months, maybe even a year or so. And it was one more thing off the to-do list. And that gives us more room, as Sir Paul Blake likes to say, to put dreaming on our to-do list. We have more time, or more clear time, more focused time to work on our goals. We're not thinking about how we should have cleaned the rain gutters last fall before winter came and it's got to be done, or we got to change the furnace filter, or we should have done this or done that. We can be a little more clear minded and a little more focused on what it is we're working on, our task at hand. And we've talked here about how important focus is for all of us. Quality work can help us progress even further, potentially even faster than a quantity of work. Less quantity, better quality could equal just as well as higher quantity of work, maybe even more so. So to get some of these things out of the way and off our to-do list can again give us that clearer state of mind and that better focus to be able to be where our feet are at and be in the moment. When we're working on our goal, we're working on our goal. Then when we go to do one of those things on our list, our spring cleaning, we can be there knowing we put some good work in because we know we took care of this task back here earlier that day or earlier that week. So I really encourage you to get out that list. Think of those annoying things that you know you should do, but you don't really want to do them, so you put them off. Next weekend I'll get it. It's still cold. Next weekend I'll do that. I got plans the weekend after. Think of some of those things now that you can put into place and get ready to do, and then again visualize yourself accomplishing it and how you'll feel once it's completed. Not just doing the task, but yourself once it's completed. How you feel, and again, all this incorporates many of your senses as are tied to that task to really create that clear picture. And as we talked about before, once you see that and create that image, then your mind will start to make decisions based on getting that outcome, because your mind doesn't know that it's created in your head. It doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. So just pick one of those big tasks that you really don't want to do. Again, take some time to reflect and think how great it would feel to have one less thing on your list. Maybe get a head start on something. Maybe it's something you do every season, but maybe you get a little head start on it, getting it done by April 1st, maybe as opposed to mid or late April. And then challenge you within the next week. From whenever you're watching this, it's the 27th of March as we record. But whenever you watch this, take 7 days and try to get that task done. And then take a moment to sit and reflect. And how does it feel? Was your imagery and your visualization correct? Was it accurate? Did you get those feelings you thought you would? Were there different feelings? Were you happier than you thought? Again, that sense of accomplishment and that buildup of self-esteem will come from getting things done and staying on task. That momentum can then be carried over, again, as we switch back to working on our goal. We have positive energy and momentum and probably motivation because we've accomplished a task. Another area you can do some spring cleaning in will be your fridge or your cupboards. Maybe it's time to take a look at some of the foods you're taking in. Maybe it's time to try to organize yourself to be able to complete meal prep every week. Are you having trouble making Sundays your meal prep day? Maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe it needs to be another day of the week. Maybe you need to do a little more pre-planning where you have all the ingredients and everything you need first, making sure that everything's where it needs to be, and then you can get started on that meal prep. Do you need to go through the cupboards and the fridge and the pantry? Maybe thin out some of those treats that we like to have around. Again, we're not saying eliminate anything, but maybe just scale back a little bit. Chances are, if it's not there, you probably won't indulge in it or overindulge in it. If it's there within arm's reach or easy to get at, we're more likely to, again, maybe have a little extra. A treat is fine, and enjoy ourselves, obviously, is fine. But if it's there, we're a little more likely to maybe overindulge, and probably overindulge more often, which can again lead to extra calories, maybe extra salt in our diet, depending on what you're having, or maybe just extra feeling of being lethargic if we're not eating healthier foods. So maybe it's time to go through those environments and thin some things out. Maybe it's time to reorganize the fridge a little bit. Maybe if you change the layout, maybe there'd be some room for some of those prepped vegetables and fruits for lunches for the week, or for your recipes that you have planned out in your meals. Or maybe you can prep some meals and have somewhere to store them so they're ready for the week. So you can just grab them and heat them up and go as you're ready. Whatever system kind of works for you, maybe it's time for you to choose a meal prep system and a method. Maybe it's just time to start meal prep. Maybe it's just time to try to clean out the food a little bit, have better choices, and we try to have more access or easier access to those better choices, the vegetables and the fruit, the natural foods, the non-processed stuff. Have that at the forefront, have that readily available, and then we sort of replace that habit. We replace the poor eating or the food with low nutritional value just by eating more foods that are more dense in nutrition. So we think of it, rather than cutting out, say, chips, we're going to try to eat more carrots and broccoli, or celery sticks, or apples, whatever it is. And for some people, having those home and washed and prepped and ready to be snacked on makes a big difference, rather than having to dig out an apple and wash it and cut it up, or however you like to have your fruits and veggies. So again, look at some different ways. You know you, and hopefully along this process, you're learning even more about yourself. So you now apply that, try to use some of that information to set yourself up for even more success. So food sources are, again, a great spot to do some spring cleaning. Food storage, maybe your containers, maybe need to revisit the old shaker cups and the food storage containers, your lunch containers. Maybe you need to throw out some of those lids that don't match the tops or the bottoms anymore. How do we always end up with that? More tops than bottoms, or vice versa, or they don't match, but they're the same brand. What do they do? So maybe it's time to spring clean that. And maybe it's time to go. A lot of places I see now offer food prep containers, not just a Ziploc rectangle container. Sometimes you can get divided ones with 2 compartments, 3 compartments, bento boxes. There's lots of different options now. A lot of supplement places like Supplement King will have lunch boxes with divided containers or prepared containers that you can put your portions in. So maybe it's time to, again, to revisit that and look for maybe a method that works better for you. Maybe the Ziploc bags and the regular containers and the rice and your meat and veggies all mixing together while it's in your lunch bag. Maybe that doesn't work for you anymore. Maybe you need something with a little more division, or a way you can see your portions maybe a little better. So maybe those cupboards of food storage containers need to have a good spring cleaning done and thinned out. And again, just reorganized to know what you have, that as you do your meal prep, if that's what you do, you have this type of storage available to keep things maybe separated until you want to mix them up, or separated because you don't want your things to mix. Certain foods aren't as good. Maybe if they get a little soggy or a little dry. So maybe we want to keep things kind of divided. Again, looking at these ways to make use of an opportunity to set yourself up for better success. So it could be a bit of an investment now, maybe to buy some new containers. Maybe you got to throw out the old ones, or you can donate them or recycle them, or use them for something, reuse them in your house for something else. But maybe getting some new containers with different dividers, or different format, different style of division and separation, maybe that makes it even easier for you to be more successful with your meal prep. Because when you get it to work the next day and go to heat it up, your food is still how you want it to be, consistency, and the taste of it. You just got to warm it up. Maybe that'll be something that helps for you. We've talked before about how I found at different times the type of water bottle I've used has made a difference in me staying hydrated. When I had a big desk job, I had one of the kind of like the bento tumblers with a straw in it, and I just had it on my desk, and I just grab it and sip, and then get back to work, doing computer work and things like that. Here at home, I find the shaker cups aren't too bad. I can put the lid on it in case I tip it over so it doesn't spill. But again, I've got a couple of these around, and I find just sat on the desk I can grab, get a little sip, and get back at it. Maybe it's a squeezable water bottle, like a sports style water bottle. Maybe it's just a screw top water bottle. Maybe it's the tin sort of water bottles that keep your drinks colder longer. Again, finding what works best for you. And the containers, and even the KFS, the knife, fork, spoon that you have, you can get ones that collapse into a container. You can get ones that are on a hook. So you have all three with you all the time. You don't have to worry about packing a fork or a knife. And do I have rice? Do I need a spoon, or do I want a fork? You can just throw it in your lunch bag every day and then have all three. And then you just, again, grab them. One less decision to make in the morning. These green utensils always go in my lunch bag. And then I grab whatever containers I need, and then I'm good to go. It's one less thing to kind of worry about maybe in the morning. And if we can kind of spring clean, maybe throw out some of those older utensils that we don't need anymore, or those mismatched ones that maybe you brought home from work by mistake. There's random ones in your drawer. Maybe thin some of that out. And again, maybe it's time to make a little investment in some food containers, some different kind of water bottle, maybe some utensils. Create a system for yourself, just like you do with your goal, to try to set yourself up for a higher level of success. So we talked about your environment. We talked about your kind of eating environment, your nutrition, your food storage environments. We talked about your containers, kind of spring cleaning those areas to, again, look at all these different areas to set yourself up for success. And we talked about looking at that big to-do list with those kind of, we'll say, annoying chores or big to-do things, that those big jobs maybe that you've been putting off or aren't really looking forward to. And again, let's take a moment, let's visualize how we'd feel having it done, just crossing that thing off our list so we can get on to the next thing. And or have a little less on our minds when we're trying to focus on working on our goal that we've set for us for 2024. One less thing weighing us down, or one less thing to procrastinate us from on working on our goal. A lot of times I find a lot of these things that need to be done around the house are a way I procrastinate. Okay, I'm going to work on my project, but I got to do the dishes. Okay, I'm going to work on my goal. I'm going to put some good work in here, but I should probably fold that laundry. I should probably clean the fridge. So if we can get designated time for some of these things, and again, get them out of the way, we create sense of accomplishment, and we take a little bit off our plate, off our mind, so we can focus better. And we take away some of those procrastination type barriers that pop up for us that can, again, keep us from working towards our goal and maybe delay us or set us back. So think of spring cleaning again as just another way to reset and recalibrate and recheck, just like we're doing with our plan, reviewing our plan and seeing how are we doing so far based on what I had written out. It's the first of the month. Okay, now what can I do around me? What can I declutter? Again, thinking of your environment. How's your car? Oof, it's kind of rough. But we're in our cars, it's easy just to kind of toss stuff and I'll get it later. But then when we need to give someone a ride, or we need to take something somewhere, we want to throw an equalizer or a BOSU in our car and head to the park and do a workout. There's stuff everywhere. I got to clean it out. It's too much work to get ready. Another day I'll clean the car sometime, and then some other day I'll go to the park and do a workout. We put those barriers up in front of ourselves. So without judging yourself and putting yourself down, because we all have things to go through and all things that we want to check off our list, that we're kind of putting off, these chores that we don't want to do. But just reflect, think, maybe again, pen and paper, maybe write them down if you're not sure of them. And then just start somewhere. Pick one or two that are going to give you that kind of benefit. And then as you accomplish them, again, realize and be conscious of how you feel, how it feels to complete this, and then take that energy and momentum and maybe things you've learned about yourself onto the next task. And as we can clean up our environments and our food storage environments, maybe our containers, maybe our again just things around us, get some of those chores off our list. Again, a lot more of this weight comes up off of us, and all these things that we know we should be doing and are supposed to be doing, we get them done out of the way, and then we can focus more on ourselves and take even better care of ourselves, which in turn helps us take even better care of those around us. So you've been working towards your goal from October to now. Great stuff. If you just joined us recently and you're just getting started, great stuff. Best time to start is now. If you're just getting started today, great stuff. Keep it up. But maybe now we can use typically a long weekend for some of us. Maybe you can use some of this time to check in like we usually like to do with our goals and our status, our kind of systems that we've put in place to make sure we're progressing how we want to. And let's create maybe a spring cleaning list. It doesn't all have to be done this weekend, but maybe we can create the list and see the things that we want to do. Maybe we look what would help us make the next jump in our goal accomplishment, take the next step towards that goal. Maybe we can set that up with a little bit of spring cleaning like we talked about. Maybe we can spring clean the fridge and the cupboards and the containers to try to really focus on that meal prep. Maybe the meal prep now is the next step we need in our fitness and wellness goal. Maybe we've been getting our workouts in, we've been getting fresh air, maybe we've been hydrating pretty good, but maybe the nutrition isn't quite where we'd like it to be. So maybe now this is a good way to do this. Spring clean, maybe start fresh, reorganize, see what you have, create a plan based on that, update things if you need to, and then try to get started. Think of a plan. And then, just like everything else, trial and error. If it's not working, maybe we need to tweak things a little bit. Like I said earlier, a lot of people think of Sunday as a meal prep day because typically everyone's home. We can get things done. We can prep together. We can maybe cook everything together, have it set aside. It doesn't work for everybody. Maybe you need to split your meals up a couple times. Maybe it's every other Sunday if you have space in the freezer or fridge where you just do a couple weeks. Maybe do a big meal like a chili or something, and then a couple small ones for the week ahead and have the chili in the freezer for later on. Again, there's no one way to approach this. It's what works best for you. Maybe you and some neighbors get together and split recipes. Maybe you all cook together, or maybe you're at your own houses and you cook your own things and then you swap. Again, different ways to go about this. But maybe we can use this time coming into, again, a new month, coming through, finishing kind of the first quarter of the year. Big solar eclipse coming in a couple of weeks. Easter's on its way. Maybe it's a good time again to get a little spring cleaning done, to take that next step, to create that new beginning, to help us take that next step towards our goal. And if you're with us live tonight, if you're lurking in the background, if you're, as the kids say, if you're watching us on recording, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I'd love to hear from you. What are you going to do to spring clean? What area are you going to do some spring cleaning in? And how do you think that spring cleaning will help you progress on the journey towards your goal? And if you're comfortable doing so, in the comments and the chats here, what's that one thing you're going to get done off that list, that big to-do list, that big thing that you've been putting off, that you're going to take some time to visualize and think about how it would feel to get it done? And then in the next 7 days from watching this recording, whenever that happens to be, what are you going to do? And maybe how are you going to commit to getting it done? And I'd love you to join us next week and let us know that you got it done and how you feel accomplishing that. So hopefully you're all comfortable here with each other enough to share that and see what we can do and can accomplish and kind of work towards. For me, I'm going to work on my office filing. I'm way behind and have to organize documents and file them and get some things done. So that's what I'm going to do between now and next week, is work on my office filing and get things back where I want it to be. So there's mine for the next week. Something I've been putting off for a while because I don't want to do it, but it needs to be done. Things need to be organized. So that's what I'm going to do over the next week. That's my spring cleaning sort of challenge to myself. So again, I'd love to hear yours, what you're thinking of doing. What's that one big thing from your list? Just one thing. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just pick one. Work through it, get it done. And again, that creates momentum to maybe get the next thing done and the next thing. Maybe you realize that a Saturday afternoon is a great time to get some of these tasks done. Maybe it becomes a weekly thing. Maybe it becomes a new routine, a new habit based on having some time this weekend to maybe try it. Maybe have it at the front of your mind to kind of work through it. Welcome in, K-Man. Good to hear from you. Chris says, we really just need to clean and purge. Our floors are being redone tomorrow. Nice. Congratulations on your floors. And it's amazing what's kept on the first floor. Floors you don't need or don't need to be there. Yeah, so for a lot of us, it's like that too. When you think of like closets, little storage compartments, all kinds of different things that things end up being in. Bookshelves are a big one. Books and magazines and things that we think we need, or articles we want to hang on to, but we don't always need them. Your closets, think of your clothes, maybe just going through your closet and getting rid of some of those clothes you don't wear anymore. Maybe that's the way you could get some new workout gear. Purge some of the old ones, donate them to charity, donate them to people who don't have as much as you do, aren't as fortunate as you. Donate them so they can get good use out of them, and then maybe you can update your workout wardrobe or your work attire, whatever it is you're looking to do. Thinking of those little things that, again, those little nooks and crannies that always seem to get full of things and storage and things to look at later. Again, a great time just to look through and set up it. Hopefully soon the weather will be nice. Could be a good time for a yard sale. Maybe we go through everything and purge everything and collect it, have a yard sale, raise some money. Maybe the money goes towards your new workout gear. Maybe the money goes towards helping you work towards your goal, or getting those meal prep containers, or just maybe rewarding yourself for doing the purging, doing the spring cleaning, setting up the sale, manning the tables, bartering with everybody, and going through it. Maybe put that towards treating yourself or towards a goal that you have. There's lots of different ways we can reward ourselves and work through some of these. We just have to, again, be aware of it, be conscious of it, and know ourselves and what's going to motivate us, what's going to help us get through some of these tasks that we just don't want to do. How can we create that positive environment and that positive perspective to be able to want to do it and continue to do it, and to kind of almost force our way through it, because there will probably be some resistance when we initially go to do that thing that we don't want to do. That's natural. So thanks for sharing that, Chris. I can't wait to see your new floors. The before and after pictures, I'm sure, will be great. Can't wait to see it. So thank you for sharing, Chris. And again, anyone else, if you're here live, if you're on recording, please let us know. What areas of your life are you going to spring clean? And or what big kind of task off your to-do list are you going to take some time and visualize how you'll feel getting it done? And remember, try to incorporate all the senses as much as apply to that task. And then within the next 7 days, committing to getting it done. And then taking time to celebrate that win of getting it done. Give yourself that, I'm going to say it, pat on your back. And then taking the time to, again, acknowledge that victory so you can take that momentum and, again, carry it forward onto the next task on that list, or your goal work, or whatever the case is. Welcome in, Bonnie. Good to see you. So I'd love to, again, hear from you what you're going to do, what areas you're going to spring clean, what big task of your to-do list are you going to accomplish in the next 7 days. And remember, incorporate the visualization beforehand and acknowledge yourself after you've completed that. Celebrate that victory so we can build on that momentum. And look at different ways you can spring clean your life. And as for those just joining us, my spring cleaning, my big to-do list is going to be filing. when I go through my office filing and organize some of my receipts and get things set up and get caught up to where I want to be. So that's my goal for the next 7 days. So again, drop yours in the chat if you have one. Again, live or watching recording. 7 days from now, come back to this video or join us next week and let us know how it went and how you felt. And again, notice that, recognize that. So that creates that good energy and momentum that you can carry forward with you. Have a great Easter, everyone. Enjoy yourself again. Hopefully get a bit of you time and a bit of time to spring clean as well. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And remember, always make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you next week.